Hello, I'm sitting in a kitchen here in New Jersey, renting out an apartment while I'm doing some work in the city. I want to tell you about a challenge that I'm doing at the moment. It's a challenge to draw with the wrong hand. So I'm right-handed and I'm doing a challenge to do a self-portrait every single day for a month with my left hand. Now I'm doing this with a guy called Relja Dereta who is brilliant. I met him at a conference in Serbia last month and he was emceeing the conference, and just before I went on, about 10 minutes before I was due on stage, he came to me and he said, "How would you like me to introduce you?" And I'm a smart arse, so I said, "I would like you to introduce me in rhyme, please." So he went away and he wrote a 12-line poem in perfect meter, rhyming couplets, that introduced me onto stage. It was absolutely incredible. First of all, that he'd managed to write a poem in another language, he is Serbian, and that he had managed to do it in such a short amount of time. It was absolutely phenomenal. So I thought, this guy is talented, he's brilliant. So we kept in touch. We started to have Skype chats, sort of weekly Skype chats, to talk about a sort of TED talk that I'm wanting to do, which is trying to demystify creativity. And he trains up TED speakers in the former Yugoslavia area. He's an amazing guy for training up speakers and for helping people solve problems. So it's been great. We've been having these chats about how we would shape this talk, what it is that we would want to communicate in the talk, and how to get people involved. And as part of this, we came up with this idea that we wanted to see how malleable our motor skills can be. Is it possible to train your opposite hand to draw as well as this one in a month? What can we do? So we started this about 5 or 6 days ago, and I want to show you like how things have changed with me drawing with my left hand just in the space of 5 or 6 days. So my first one here, which you'll be able to see on screen right now, is absolutely awful. It isn't me. Just look at me and look at this. It's not me. It's a dreadful, dreadful thing. I was really struggling to control my left hand. Now, I was doing this first of all with just my finger on the screen using 53's paper app, which I love. So there we go. That was the first one. Let me show you day 2. So day 2 is there. Now it's getting better, but look how wonky my head is at the top. You know, it's almost all right. But again, I was doing that with my finger. Right, day 3. Now we're getting somewhere. Look at that, in just 3 days. That is with my finger again, and I'm actually pretty happy with that. If I'd drawn that with my right hand, I'd be quite happy with that. Right, so day 4, he said that I had to stop drawing with my finger, and he's quite right. It's stop drawing with your finger, and I want you to use a pen. So I kind of went halfway. I still used 53's paper app, but I used a stylus, and I drew with a stylus instead of just my finger. And I did that, which I really didn't like. I just didn't like this at all. But my signature at the bottom is actually very similar to my signature with my right hand. So I found that actually I can write with my left hand. Okay, so I then moved on to paper because Rhea still wasn't happy with me doing stuff on a screen. It's just like, no, that's not the way you learn to draw with your right hand. You should be drawing the way you would naturally draw with your left hand. So I went out and I bought myself a little sketch pad and a pen, because I don't have any of that equipment here with me in New York. So this was day 5. I did this. So I'm not that unhappy with that. You know, I'm actually relatively happy with that, drawing with my left hand. But I want you to look at the lines. I might sort of zoom in here so you can see the lines. Now they are so squiggly. It takes me a long time because I'm trying to control this pen. And the natural direction that I would draw things, what I was discovering is that I would draw circles naturally. I would draw in a clockwise direction with my right hand. And my body was trying to do that clockwise direction with my left hand. And I thought, what will happen if I actually try and draw anti-clockwise with my left hand, seeing as it is the other side of my body? And I found that that helped a heck of a lot. So the direction that I would normally try and draw lines, if I draw them in the opposite direction with my left hand, then it's a little bit better. So yesterday I did another sketch here with my left hand. I'm a little bit long-faced in this one. It's not quite proportionally correct, but again, I'm not too unhappy with that as a drawing. You can see again here that my lines generally are a bit squiggly, but not as bad as they were the day before. And what I discovered yesterday was that if I relaxed a bit more, I was tensing up too much, trying really hard to control it. But as I started to relax into it, the lines became a little bit more fluid. I mean, they're still shaky, really are shaky, but I was starting to get a little bit more control. And I'm finding that every day, just drawing a self-portrait every single day, and these take about 15 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes possibly, that I am improving day after day. So I thought you might want to watch me do, that's day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, day 7's portrait, which means that I now have to move the camera and put it up here so that you're able to see, and we'll speed this up so that you can actually see how difficult it is to control, how slow I'm being, how I'm struggling to get lines. But with a pen and paper, you can't use the undo function like I had been with the iPad. So it's a challenge, so I'm doing it slowly. So we'll speed it up. So here we go. Here is day 7's self-portrait with a pen and paper and my left hand. Well, so there we go. That's the 7th drawing in the series. You can see how it's improved since the first drawing. Let's look at the first drawing now. Let's look at today's drawing. Come on, that's an improvement, isn't it? 7 days, and I'm drawing with the wrong hand. So hopefully Relja will be able to share some of his stuff as well. We'll be able to see how his drawings have been going as he's drawing with his right hand instead of his left. And thank you for following this. I hope to be back to you with another update or two before the end of the 30-day period. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I love you very much. Mwah.